Hi, everybody. Welcome to Stars and Pearls. I'm so happy that you found your way here. I hope you click like, subscribe, and share, and that you drop a comment in the comment section below and let me know how this video floats for you. So this topic is a tricky one for me to try and get across because there's so much in it that I just can't encapsulate into words, but I'm going to try. So I thought I'd share with you an insight I received from an adventure I had a few years ago now. And like I said, it took me quite a while to work through it, and questions do remain around it, but I don't need the answers in the comments. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. But I would love to hear your experiences, and if you've experienced something similar, if something like this has happened to you. So it's taught me a lot more than what I'm just going to focus in on in this video, which I've called the 3 wishes, not because the number 3 is significant, that was just to catch your attention, but because we all have these wonderful opportunities in life, which I will call wishes. So let's dial back. I was traveling at the time. I was just in Costa Rica visiting an acquaintance and his wife. And then I decided to head to Mexico to see a pyramid, specifically the one at Uxmal near Merida, because it was called the Sorcerer's or Magician's Pyramid. And it's called that because legend has it was built overnight. Anyways, I bopped around the Yucatan for about 2 months before heading home. But before I left, I decided to visit the island of Isla Mujeres on my way out. Isla Mujeres means island of the women, and in Mayan times it was dotted with statues of female goddesses, according to Hernan Cortes. Um, Along with Cozumel, which is another island further south, it was a mystical place dedicated to the goddess IxChel. IxChel was a powerful maiden mother crone type goddess of just about everything. The moon, which is still out for debate if she wasn't put together with another moon goddess, but apparently she was goddess of the moon, the rainbow, which wasn't necessarily a good thing. The Mayans didn't really see the rainbow as a good omen, but that's another story. Weaving, fertility, childbirth, healing, water, the ocean, war, and much, much more. Her story is one of overcoming and triumphing. It's one of those early, powerful female tales. She was married to one husband, cheated on him though, left him for her second husband, who was the son, Kinichahau, whom she cheated on as well, and who was also brutal to her. Um, she left him. Her father tried to get her to return to her son husband, but she refused, basically armored up and stayed wild and free. And since then, she's been a goddess that is predominantly helping women who are predominantly women who have been through a lot or gone through a lot, but also helps with fertility and finding the right partner. So women in Mayan days were encouraged to pilgrimage at least once in their lives to one of these temples to receive guidance, give tribute, and gain fertility. IxChel was also depicted with a snake on her head, which I didn't know until after when I saw the statue of her in the ruin site, and she also walks with 2 jaguars. So all this that I'm sharing with you on IxChel, I didn't know. All I knew was that I wanted to see this beautiful island, see the ancient ruins that were there, which I actually also only discovered on the dolphin discovery map of the island that I had with me on the ferry on the way over from Cancun. So yeah, all I wanted to do was see the ruins and have some adventures. So I placed once I got to the ruins though, things changed. It was a I remember it being an amazingly, stunningly beautiful day. It was as if nature herself was just completely showing off. If any of you have been there, you know how crystal clear the waters around that part of the island is, and deeply like bright turquoise and crystal clear. And all I wanted to do was touch the moment, I think, just touch the moment and really absorb it. But I wanted to also feel the ruins. So I placed my hands on the stones of the ruins and I was gone. Midnight sky unfolded above me, and I could smell something. It was almost like I heard, but I didn't hear, but I knew a stone had rolled away from what smelled like a crypt because this moldy, dank, earthy smell just rose up into my nose. I won't forget that distinct smell to this day. And as I looked up, I could see this enormous, gigantic black snake head looming up above the ruins above me and looking down on me. And it was ginormous. What gets me too is that you can tell I used AI to create these images, but AI instantly knew. Usually you have to tweak it a little bit, work it a little bit, and then combine the images that you get to get what you really want. But this instantly came out as is. So I'll just throw that in there. But anyways, this gigantic black snake head was above the ruins looking down on me, and I could tell behind it there was some kind of a galaxy, I'm guessing the Milky Way, which was spiraling away. It was just wild. To my left, on this side of me, I could see a tumble and a whirl of images, all my past lives of being sacrificed and sacrificing. Mayan people that had been to the temple, others that had simply been prayed for, life and death in a continuous cycle of blood. It was almost like in blood and pain we are born, and in blood and pain we leave this world and are reborn into the other world. And all of a sudden, I understood. I understood why people had conducted human sacrifices and why they had sacrificed themselves. Back then, we really and truly believed in the gods. And I now truly believe that the gods did show themselves. Maybe not physically in that sense, but the same way that I suddenly had that experience because they have the capability of taking over your mind. And so people genuinely had something to believe in, and they wanted to give these beings whom they loved and trusted, whom they equated with life itself, the best that they had. So what is the best that we have to give to life? Ourselves, right? Ourselves. So we gave of ourselves, our children, our beautiful girls, and I saw in this lineup that I stepped up willingly. I was in ecstasy, and without any drinks or anything like that, I was just take me, take me, take me. And there was this energy that was just going through me in those past lives that I felt if I don't lose this body, I'm going to blow it apart. They actually, I was shown that they saw us as their equals and that they initially asked for these sacrifices not to happen. And they didn't need these sacrifices from us. They didn't ask for them. They don't drink blood. They don't need blood. They don't need that stuff that we think that they need, not these ones. Also, in this, I was kind of, how should I put this? I wasn't asked, but the desire came up, and I've been working on that, on doing a video or telling about the benevolent snake people, because they have gotten a bad rap. It's like humans carrying a bad reputation for all humans when it's a handful of humans, right? So the reptilians, yes, there are definitely some ones that you do not want to mess with, but there are others, and these show up in the Hindu tales as well. Hindu tales will tell you of two different kinds of snake beings, and I'll get into that in my Brotherhood of the Snake video that I'm still working on. But in any case, sidetrack, something to look forward to. There you go. But I realized that what may seem manipulative and deceptive, because they were saying that I was being told that they didn't want these sacrifices. They didn't ask for these sacrifices. Humans wanted to give them that. And out of the benevolence and the goodness of their heart, and I know that sounds really weird, but they allowed this to happen because this was an evolutionary step. This was something that humans had to experience. So it may seem manipulative and deceptive, but if we just take a look at celebrity culture nowadays and see what people throw at it, their energy, their time, their children, their opportunities in life, money, power, you name it, they throw it all. It's not that far off. So I also realized, by the way, that I had shifted. The great snake had the power to draw a specific frequency of being out of me. And in a different practice under guidance, I'd been trying to discover things on existing on different planes. And once I saw the belly of a black snake or a dragon turning, and I immediately backed away because I thought, oh, bad, right? But in this experience, the memory came back, and I myself had turned into a black snake, but much, much smaller and with a cobra hood left and right to receive the frequencies and telepathic messages received from the much bigger snake. It was wild. What was even wilder, like I said, was that it was total midday and I was there in complete night, and I couldn't lift my hands from the stones. No one was next to me though. And this happened during a time where if you go there now, you'll see that the ruins is cordoned off. They did that during the 2022 time at some point. But before that, you could directly walk into the ruins, and people were still placing things there. They were still honoring IxChel there. The bushes were full of those prayer ribbons, the ribbons that you tie onto the bushes with your prayers. People were bringing fruit and flowers mostly and leaving them to rot in the corners or for the birds to eat them. And so they started cordoning it off. But back then, I was able to really touch the base of it. I didn't want to get up in it. For some reason, I didn't feel called to do that, but I touched the base of it, and that was, as you guys are now hearing, more than enough. The snake I experienced as infinitely wise, cosmic, and extremely benevolent, and it taught me many things and allowed me to see some things. But I will only speak of one thing here in this video. Again, our wishes. It wasn't a direct teaching, but an insight gained from the interaction and the experience. And what I realized was that after that day, all the wishes I held in my most secret heart of hearts had been fulfilled. That part of the heart you wouldn't even admit to your own self, let alone anyone else. And it seemed I had had three main wishes in that secret heart, nothing evil, but that I'm now aware of, and they have all come true. After that experience, I felt a gentle wind around and behind me, not a breeze, a wind, and a very soft hug and a feeling of a grandmotherly energy giving me a soft, warm, like hug, promising me that everything would be all right. And it felt like angel wings. But now I realize what that moment was. And what I wish now in my heart of hearts is that I hadn't been so extremely focused on my pain and suffering over, at the end of the day, trifles. And when they came into my life, what I had been suffering over, it didn't last. And I wished I'd had more faith and belief in life and in the Creator to handle all those trifles. And in my heart of hearts, I would then have the energy and the space to be asking for something much more deeper and more profound. And we all receive these opportunities of wishing, those soft, unnoticeable, pivotal moments in your life when something in you is telling you this is a moment, but your mind keeps on trucking. And what manifests from these moments, what directs your plot twist and how your life continues and what happens and how it unfolds and what direction it takes, is what you hold in that deeply buried, hidden away, super secret, secret heart, even secret possibly from your own ego. There is no preparing for these moments of heart measuring. Even Jesus said to be vigilant, because his consciousness would return like a thief in the night. And only those who had been prepared, who had prepared, would be able to find their way. Prepare how, you may ask? Well, which wolf have you been feeding inside of you? Because that's the one who's going to answer the call. How do you allow others to feel about themselves, and how do you feel about yourself? I wish now that I'd had the wherewithal to wish for my enlightenment and the enlightenment of all mankind. Of course, it probably wouldn't have manifested to the same extent that my three mundane wishes did manifest, but maybe, it would have strengthened the frequencies bringing in that timeline. what I wished for in my secret heart wasn't bad, but it wasn't exactly forward moving, if you know what I mean. I was far too stuck in the past. I was far too stuck in grief. I got what I wanted, and the experience itself of receiving what I wanted moved me forward, but I could have been elsewhere maybe. So the biggest lesson I learned from that is your heart is precious. Your heart is so beyond precious and priceless and invaluable. That secret heart of hearts. Take care of it. Take care of your secret heart of hearts. Don't let the world get in there. Mind the wolves that you feed. Thankfully, we don't just have one chance, but I do feel that we have rare chances where everything is so magnificently overwhelming as seeing a massive snake head and having the Milky Way spiral away against you, behind you, and then you show up with these wishes, right? Instead of wishing for something for humanity. And but we all have these chances, and these chances are well hidden in our day to day. And thankfully, like I said, we don't just have one chance. Um, we have multiples, but we have to show up in each and every one of them. So I feel that this experience was partially a measuring and weighing of my heart, and I had no idea until after that it was also an encounter, an observation, a help, and a beingness in absolute and total truth. Total truth. Was it really with IxChel? Was it with the Mayan Kukulkan, who was a wise serpent teacher? Was it with the Egyptian Wajet, who was also a serpent teacher? Was it with the Aztec Quetzalcoatl, well-known serpent teacher? Who knows? But thank you for listening, and until my next insights from mystical adventures, mind the wolves that you feed. Take care.